Uh-oh. What's okay? Chris is keeping it PG right now. I like it. He usually changes my name to something super sketch. I'm like, do not do that with her on here.
I'm looking
You get us in
for.
trouble, buddy.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 18 of 2025. I'm Chris Louie, and thankful to have made it back from Dallas in time to go to RSA this year. With me, I have my co-host, the Hot Dad, who survived walking around the streets of San Francisco.
Yeah, this time it was pretty easy. I felt like they did the thing when what do you call it? The supreme leader of China came over here and evacuated all the.
Yeah. I don't think they cleaned
Operation.
all the way around the Chinatown though. I think it was just
No,
that area.
they most certainly did not. I think I walked about 0.7 miles to like some. I hate to brag. I went to like a Michelin star restaurant and like it got real sketch real quick. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I won't cast
like
any aspersions here, but yes.
It's like a radius, Moscone, very, very clean. Then you go a block out, less clean. 2 blocks out, even less clean.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, they did what they had to do, right? I mean, at some point in time, people will just stop going. We'll go to Vegas.
Exactly.
Or something. But yeah.
I gotta ask. Did you? Oh, sorry.
We'll
go ahead.
We'll save it for topic 4,
Yeah,
Glenn.
there you go.
Okay.
Keep that.
Yeah, it was
Make a note of it.
My fault.
very sad. Glenn was there. Didn't see Glenn. Victor was there. Didn't see Vic. And then I saw Chris for like 45 minutes. We walked around pretty much the south side of the conference center and
Expo
saw
hall.
nothing cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have Glenn Medina, who wanted to treat my neighborhood like his personal parking lot.
Yes, because if you could just only control your people in San Francisco, Chris, like
I mean, my people.
if they could just stop breaking windows and breaking into cars, maybe it'd be better to drive in San Francisco. So
That's true.
Hey,
control
fun
your people,
fact.
Chris.
This restaurant that we went to had food sourced from Vacaville. They said it was quail, maybe. I'm pretty sure it was a pigeon though, but I ate it anyways. So
Was it good?
Yeah, quail's good.
It was good, yeah.
Like a
yeah,
squab.
it was good. It was
It's just a
that
fancy
thing
word
was-
for pigeon. So
Yeah. As the kids on the internet would say, that thing was thick. I was like, I've never seen a quail that big.
yeah.
Like it had some, thick thighs don't lie.
Well, we actually have a backup guest this week because Brian was so confident our first guest would flake, and our first guest did actually flake, so good thing Brian had a backup. So we
Thinking
invited
ahead.
Olivia Linares.
That's
Did I get that right, Olivia?
Yeah, Lanaras, but
Lanaras.
Linares. As long as you don't say Lanaras, that's the
Lanaras.
one that I will not stand. But the rest are fine.
So what's the origin? What's the origin of the name?
It's Greek.
Greek.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So,
Linares.
yeah, fun fact, I was born in Greece. But yeah, I am so happy to be here today. Brian has been teasing me with, we should get you on the podcast. We should get you on the podcast. And finally, it has happened.
Yeah. Give me a
Yeah,
word.
you made it happen.
I'll give you the Greek origin of that word.
That's the Bible. My Big Fat Greek Wedding really is a Bible. And if you need to know anything about Greek people, it can be found within my Big Fat Greek Wedding. At
Like
least
the whole
about the Greek
Windex thing?
diaspora.
Windex.
Is that
Windex
true?
works.
Windex?
I mean, I've heard it from people at church. It does happen. It's been known to happen.
It's not too far off.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch? I watched the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding, but I don't think I ever saw the second one. Did you guys watch that one?
Yeah,
Of
it was all right.
course. Of course. The third was the best. Was it the
What?
third?
There's more than
I
two.
didn't even know there was a third.
Yeah, there's a third. Yeah. I love it. My kid loves that movie. Or the
Well,
series.
we know what we're watching at
welcome
the next
to the
security
Greek.
summit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've never heard me say when we take a picture together, hold my neck?
No, you've literally never said that.
Oh,
See, Olivia
I
gets
have.
it. Olivia gets it.
You got to hide the chins.
You gotta hold my neck. Hold the chin. Hide the fat.
I didn't know that's where it came from, man. I just thought it was funny as hell, to be honest.
Greek people, very known for being funny, I must say.
I'm part Greek. There you go.
Are you, Glenn?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Don't believe anything he says. Well, Olivia is a partner enablement engineer here at Zscaler, a LinkedIn serial poster, and a certified Zscaler architect. And we should also add Gullible to the list of qualifications
Oh,
here.
pause.
Ouch.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
cool.
Ouch.
Unfortunately, that is something that my family took full advantage of. As the youngest child, the most gullible, it was awful. I mean, for a while, I thought that my dad dated Beyonce. That was one that
What?
went around. He convinced me. He said he was on the Greek national soccer team. That one I spread around my entire school.
That he was on the
So,
national team.
Yes. So surprise, surprise, that's not true. And then to get me to comb my hair when I was little, because I hated it, he would say a bird had pooped in it. So, yeah, there were many, many different stories about how gullible Olivia was growing up.
Spread
and
the
it
feces around
maintains.
by brushing it. Okay.
Precisely.
Yes. Well, in addition to that, one thing you guys probably don't know about her is that she produces, and I don't want to diminish this because sometimes you think, oh, like whatever, but the content that she puts out on like PowerPoint for some of the newer products is like spot on. I lean on her heavily for that content. So thank you so
Nice.
much.
That's great.
Thank you. There's nothing like a PowerPoint to really make you feel good about yourself. It's like one of the few evidence-based things you can just deliver to someone and be like, I know things. I don't know
Honestly,
it.
normally when I have to do PowerPoint, I'm like, oh man, F PowerPoint, this thing sucks. But like then your stuff is always good. Like it's not like a 6-point font and you have to zoom in on it. Like it's communicates a good message.
It
Great
doesn't
job,
have-
keep it up.
Doesn't have like 100 words to read at a really small font. Is that what you're saying?
No, definitely not. Thank God, no. It's
Glenn, is
definitely
that
an
a
art.
mobility stick?
It is.
Is that
Yeah.
Those things are so cool. Have
Yeah.
any of you guys used that mobility stick? Okay, Glenn has this thing that's orange with
I've got 3 of them. Yeah.
black ends on it, and they are specifically for mobility, and I used them at my parents' old people gym once.
Hey.
Old person, Glenn.
I love that old person gym. The sauna always
Let's go,
empty.
Grandpa.
The rack always empty. If you want a good workout, go to an old person's gym.
Nice. Thank you for calling me out.
Debatable.
Appreciate
Debatable. I don't know about that, but we'll take your word for it.
Glenn just always has to have something cylindrical in his hands, even during the podcast.
All right,
Hey.
pause. Pause.
He meant beer.
Obviously.
Yes, beer.
Yeah.
Combined, we have decades of information security experience, and here not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about a closing the loop topic. Americans losing a ton of money to financial fraud. For our third topic, a cybersecurity CEO infects his customer, and close with RSA 2025 talk. For our first closing loop item, a few months ago, we did a story about a guy who worked for Disney and was disgruntled, so he hacked into the menu system and changed the allergen information for the menus at Disney World to falsely indicate that foods were safe for allergenic guests, altering the wine regions to places where mass shootings occurred, embedded offensive imagery, and the menus were even printed out but not sent out yet, so nobody caught it before it got sent to the printer. Well, he has now been sentenced to 3 years in prison for his hacking crimes.
Dang, man.
crazy.
Disney
That's a
taking
little
no
much, isn't
hostages
it?
over here.
It's a little much, don't you think? 3 years, and you got people committing all kinds of other crimes that are getting like slaps on the hand, right?
Or no
So-
charges filed.
Yeah, or no charges filed.
My thing is like, if you're, how I know he's a true sociopath. How did he not change the caloric information on the elephant ears and the rest? Like that would have been a civic duty to all of us to be able to walk around Disneyland without having to feel guilty for the 5th elephant ear, the 6th, the 7th. So
They'll be
that's how
0
you
calorie
know.
churros. That's where it's really at, you know.
He could have been a hero, and instead he chose villainy. So deserved 3 years.
Wow, you're so mean.
Yeah. Disney claimed like this guy did like $700,000 worth of damage, something like that. I'm like, how expensive really was it to print these menus?
Printing's expensive. My grandpa used to own a printing press. It was a pretty good business. So, yeah, that's why everything's become digital. Why do you think they all force us to use QR codes
QR
on
codes
our
now,
phones? The bane of my existence. I am the young person in all the restaurants being like, I need a paper menu. I cannot read off my phone. So
It's one gigantic phishing test. See if you get people to scan things.
I don't know about you guys. I go to a restaurant. It's a great reason to have my phone in my hand again. I love that.
precisely, there's nothing that says, coming together, sharing a meal together, like your face in your phone. Nothing like it.
Nothing like it. This does put it in perspective, though. Like I think I very closely did 3 out of the 5 of these things that he did back in high school. So I'm just like, I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't get caught and get 3 years of sentence in prison. That would have been bad.
You changed the caloric intake of your high school menu, Brian?
No,
Yeah.
but I did like change the gender of people and mental diseases and grades and stuff like that.
That's
But I
literally
wanted free
criminal
lunch.
in California, Brian.
Yeah. Statute of limitations. I'm okay.
And he's not in California, so he's
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
The
just saying. I
flabby
was
arm of the
changing-
law here doesn't extend into Arizona.
Yeah. And plus, that was like 40 years ago. I don't even know how old I am anymore, but
For our first topic, the highly anticipated FBI Internet Crime Center, the IC3 report was released, and it's not good news. The FBI reports that the U.S. lost $166 billion to cybercrime in 2024, an astounding 33% increase over 2023. The average loss was about $19,000 per reported incident. Crypto scams were number 1 yet again. BEC, or business email compromise, was number 2. And surprisingly, ransomware was not even cracking the top 10. However, the way that the FBI measures ransomware losses, it only covers the payments, not the actual recovery costs and downtime, which is usually the majority of the cost for these devastating ransomware attacks. So no surprise there. I think the other interesting stat was that since crypto scams were the number 1 loss for this year, they said for the first time ever, losses in actual cryptocurrency overtook losses in US dollars. So people lost actual real cryptocurrency instead of their US dollars.
Do you really lose anything with cryptocurrency? I mean, really?
Numbers in a database.
Yeah.
well, did you guys see the asterisks at the very bottom of the
No.
article? Yeah, it said it was 165 billion was attributed to the Department of Defense. So
And $1
they
billion.
don't know where their money goes at all ever. Yeah.
That's low.
It actually didn't say that.
I would say that.
Just in crypto.
I felt it was really sad because I think when it says like number 1 was crypto, blah, 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 that's talking in dollar amounts. But I think it said that the number 1 most common scams were done on elderly people. And like, I don't know what to do anymore. My parents, as much as they try, they're awful with their privacy security. I mean, they're just awful with computers in general. Like, I had to help my dad copy paste the other day. You know, it's like, it's rough out there for the elderly. And on a serious note, like, it's just so sad that people take advantage of them because they're also in their latter years. It's usually their retirement accounts, and, you know, say like $20,000 is actually not that much for a hacker. You know, they could be going after the government, but it's a huge amount for, you know, an old person looking into their older years. So anyway, I just find this incredibly disappointing, and I don't really know what to do. Like, all of the things that we do to protect ourselves as people who are, you know, in the know on cybersecurity, those can't really be scaled to people who are quite tech illiterate, especially considering that all of the banks are now forcing people to go onto tech platforms as well, without the acknowledgement that there are many people who are just are not tech literate enough to then protect themselves.
100%.
Yeah,
and this is the level of empathy our podcast does not have. So thanks for helping us out today. You're like, oh man, old people are stupid. Am I right? And then you have Olivia saying, I feel bad for these people. I'm like, yeah, I guess I do too. Now I know.
You're right around the corner from being there, so you're going to be old too.
Exactly. To me, you are an old person. Cloud God, you could be next.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
that's
Dad.
okay. I will take that.
But I mean, I went to the bank to deposit a check for my mom the other day, and the banker was like, "You're not Grace. It's my mom's name. You're not Grace. Oh, you must be her daughter." I'm like, okay, so you know from the check name who my mom is, that she has a daughter. How much do you hang out with my mom? Like, my mom probably knows her banker than many of us know our like second cousin.
Yeah.
So it's very cute. It's wholesome.
So if you look at the IC3 report, they actually do break it down by age groups, and they actually stop at 60. So because I guess data 60 and over is there's a special report called the Elder Fraud Report. So I guess it happens so often they actually broke it out, and you can actually see the losses per age group, and it goes parabolic. Like under 20, it starts low. Once you get to like 40, it starts to go up, and when you get to like 50 to 59, it like skyrockets. And I'm sure that it goes even higher when you look at the 60 and above report, but mainly things like romance and confidence scams, things that these call pig butchering scams,
And
investment
it makes
scams,
sense, right? Like, why would you go after a 20-year-old who's probably in debt? They don't even have any money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, there's a nice Venn diagram of old people being both tech illiterate and gullible online, and then also they have more money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's who I'd be going for.
Criminal. Just kidding. We're all quiet. I like it. Awkward.
Well, I mean, this is such a general one. I was looking at this article. It's such a general one. This is the kind of news that, like if 1 million people die, it's whatever. If one person dies, it's horrible. I think it's actually much easier to speak and comment on, very intimate stories as opposed to like, oh, we're all screwed. We're all getting frauded constantly. Fabulous. The only response I have to this is just, get offline, build a bunker.
Live off grid.
Yeah.
Grow your own vegetables.
Yeah. What else are we supposed to say? Like, it's just so pervasive now. It's not if you'll get hacked, it's when. It's not if you'll get, frauded against, it's when. So
It's
I'm
almost
sure we don't
like
have to go over all of the safety protocols you should do, but the best one is, just remove yourself from civilization.
it's almost like data breach fatigue when there were certain. 10 years ago when there's data breach, like, oh my gosh, all our data is out there, our social security numbers are out there, and then now it's like every other day it's a different data breach, and you're like, well, it's already out there anyway. Now I'm just on another list. Another year of free credit monitoring.
It's not like it can come back, right? So once it's out there with the first breach, what are the second, third, fourth, and fifth? It's the same social security number.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the idea, you have to change your passwords all the time, but it's like, my social security number's already out there.
Yeah.
What's the point anymore?
Yeah.
I'm
Credit
done
freeze.
for.
That's it.
Yeah.
Credit freeze.
Yeah.
Well, it's hilarious because when I was in the military, you and your social security were synonymous everywhere you went. So everything you did, you put your social security number on it. And you wrote a check at the local store. You had social security number on there. You go do anything, it's your social security number. So it's like there's a lot of documents out there from from 20 years ago that are floating around that has my number at there everywhere. So at what point do I go, am I really worried, or what should I be concerned about with?
I think my first driver's license had my social security number on there.
Yeah.
It also said I was 7'4".
All right, Shaq.
I mean, if you apply for, to rent an apartment, you have to put it on there. It's like...
See, that makes sense because they need to run a credit check, make sure you haven't bankrupt or anything, or you are.
Another topic, but
say
I don't
who
think
you are.
should need to do that. I don't think you should need to do that. That's another topic, but I think it's
okay.
silly how much we use credit here.
But
when there are so many instances in which it's kind of irrelevant. If you immigrate, or I lived in London for 5 years out of uni, I didn't have a credit score when I came home, even though I had great income, all of that. I had to use my parents as a guarantor at 26 years old with a high-paying tech job.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a credit score.
Yeah.
No other country uses that. I think that's one thing us Americans have to remember.
Well,
no other country uses the credit score for rental apartments.
Yeah.
They use references.
Yeah. Well, like I said, even just recently, right? We wrote a check. Like I said, it's kind of odd. I for some reason I did not use e-file or e-check, but no, this was actually for my mom's. Had to write her social security number on the check as it was being sent to the IRS in snail mail. So mind you, it's like, why are we still doing this? Why is the IRS still asking you for your social security number when you submit your check? When it's like, hey, you probably have this written down 20 times over everywhere else in the world. Right?
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Or you have taxpayer ID numbers now, or individual number. I know I do that because of the high instance of refund frauds. So they even if they have my social security number, if they don't have my PIN, my IRS PIN, then they can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I think
it's
when
sitting on Chris's server somewhere, his database of information that he's crawled everywhere. So
My blackmail database.
yeah, exactly.
To Olivia's point, there's one of our, I think Glenn probably knows him, but one of our buddies, he just relocated to the Bay Area, and he's not been in the U.S. forever. And so I believe he's 50 plus or close to it. I'm sorry if you're listening, dude. I don't know. You look young to me. But he was telling me, he's like, I can't even buy a house. I have to be here for a year and establish credit. And I have a high paying tech job, right? And I have more than enough money for, 20% down on these overpriced homes in the Bay Area, but you won't let me buy it. So now I'm stuck renting for $10,000 a month. It's insane.
All cash offer.
Yep. Got that. Only you, Chris.
I think the most egregious thing, because I agree, like buying a house, renting, like I could see, whether we agree with it or not, I can see the case for it. Where I cannot see a case for it was when we were putting my kids in preschool or daycare, and they asked for my social security number. I'm like, why the heck do you need this? Like, I pay every month. Like, you don't need to run my credit. And what I started doing, I just leave it blank, and no one's ever complained that I didn't fill it in. Like, it's oversharing. I don't know what your data retention policy is on this paper. Do you shred it after 7 years? Do you shred it when I leave? Like, I don't want to deal with that, so I just don't put it in. Then no one's ever complained that I left it blank.
Who knew it was optional? Guess it was in bold. No red dot next to it.
That was another, we're getting a little bit off topic, but another sort of life hack was, remember when we had like Erica on and she was talking about how people that have been rehabilitated through our correction system, they come out and they have that hard time reintegrating in society. And they said one of the tips was when you apply, it says, are you a felon or have you been arrested or something like that. And if you mark yes, your application automatically gets rejected. So what people were doing was leaving it blank. And then when it comes up, then the interviewer asks, oh, I noticed you left this blank. So you can at least pitch them the story. So you can at least get your foot in the door and then tell them like, yes, I went through the system. I paid my debt and it was really minor. It was, shoplifting or something. So same idea, over collection of data.
Yeah, it's rampant, the over collection of data when we really don't know where it's being stored, who it's passing amongst, not to mention if it's in snail mail / a paper version. That's kind of horrifying.
Or Slack.
Or Slack.
You gotta have those DLT filters up, right? Passwords in clear text, what?
It's never going away.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show, crimes just gets worse, and the best defense is stay off the grid, or if that's not possible, at least educate people. Like I do that with my parents too. MFA, all the things. If you're not expecting this text message, don't respond. Just simple things like that.
I think you missed the point. Crime does pay $165 billion. So
apparently it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if good old cash can bring some of these guys to justice, or gals. Cybercrime spans multiple genders. All right, for our second topic, the Iberian Peninsula experienced a massive blackout this week, and everyone's first thought was that it was a cyber attack, just like we saw back in Ukraine in 2015 and again in 2018. As of right now, there's no evidence that the blackout was the result of a cyber intrusion, but authorities are not ruling anything out yet. Most of the countries of Spain and Portugal were without power for almost 23 hours. Portugal's power operator initially suggested that, quote, a rare atmospheric phenomenon in Spain involving extreme temperature variations could have caused vibrations in high voltage lines. Now, even if this was not a cyber attack, it shows how fragile our power grids are and critical infrastructure are to even the slightest attacks.
So my friend was here, speaking of cash is king. My friend had landed in Spain like the minute before this all happened. So she had to walk from the airport to her hotel 2 hours in Madrid because she didn't have cash. They couldn't find any food because they didn't have cash. So yeah, kids, you got to carry at least like 100 on you, broken up into small bills. Because if we go to a bartering system, people often don't have change. You don't want to just be giving them 100
Yeah.
for something that costs 20.
They'll ask to keep the change.
Exactly.
I can't open the register.
Yeah, but truly, this is terrifying. I mean, a whole country or 2 countries rather, for 24 hours. That's extreme.
Did they say that they had gone, they got rid of all their nuclear power plants and they were like 100% green? Or is that a different country? I don't remember.
They have moved majorly onto renewables, and they said that was not the problem, quite effusively. They also said a cybercrime is not the problem, quite effusively, though we cannot rule anything out. That's another thing. I really doubt that they could have ruled out like a cyber attack in a matter of, because they put that announcement out like in a matter of a day.
Pretty quickly.
How are you checking all of your vulnerabilities in a day?
It's like, did you already call in Mandy? Like, are they on site? They could tell you.
Their PR person is very funny. If you read different articles and who was spoken to, the stories are very different. One man is saying, we promise this will never happen again. And another person is saying, we can never eliminate all risk. One person is saying, it's absolutely not a cyber attack. Another person is saying, we cannot rule out any causes.
Anything.
So,
Yep.
yeah, this is a PR nightmare.
There's a lot of double speak here
Spain.
for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe AI took over. They turned it off and then just turned it back on again.
Mission Impossible. It's right. It's the latest Mission Impossible. Was not Rogue Nation. What's it called? Whatever it is, the latest Mission Impossible is about this rogue AI that wants
Mission
to kill
Impossible 20, I think is what it is.
I've been waiting 2 years for the sequel. It better be good.
I know. We're giving them free PR right now, free advertising. We should be sponsored by them.
Yes.
Rogue? No, not Rogue. Oh, this is gonna kill me. What is the name of that latest Mission Impossible?
Do you actually want us to Google it right now for you? You lazy son of a gun.
I'm DuckDuckGoing it right now. Dead Reckoning.
Yes.
Dead Reckoning.
2023. Yeah, so we have been waiting 2 years for this sequel.
Did anyone watch it?
The new one?
I watched
or
it.
The one 2 years old?
Yeah.
Is it out already?
I don't know.
No,
Do you
the
think
first
I follow this?
Yes,
Part one
you
is
give me
out.
the vibes.
Part 2,
No,
I
absolutely
know
not.
must be
If I'm
coming
old
out
enough
'cause
to be
I'm
your
seeing a lot
dad,
of
then
PR
you're
for
young
it.
enough to be my daughter, and you need to go watch the movies.
I've actually, full transparency, I've never seen a single Mission Impossible. I've seen some clips of Tom Cruise running, and that's it.
That's basically
Chris,
it. That's
how do
every-
we kick someone out
every
of
movie.
Zoom?
Let's see. Go here. Remove from meeting.
No.
Put in
All right,
waiting
so-
room.
Are you speaking
Do you think
badly about Tom, Olivia?
No,
'cause,
he has fantastic running form.
because-
As a former high school runner, I can say, he's got his hands straight, he's got knees up. Yeah, no, Tom does a great run.
All right, May 23. So in a few weeks.
Okay.
It's about 2 weeks,
Who
two and
the
a half
hell
weeks.
says
from
May
when this-
23?
May
It's the
23rd.
23rd, dude. Gosh darn it, man.
I'm literally
Maybe-
reading it. May 23. MAY 23, Brian.
There's that guy that does the car reviews. He goes, it has 325 horsepower. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Don't say it like that. It makes me want to punch you and cancel this thing entirely. Maybe like a Spanish matador mistook a substation for a bull. Maybe that's what happened. Right?
That
Could
that
be.
could have been it. That could have
That
been
happens.
But I mean, like the excuse of vibrations on high voltage lines. These lines cannot withstand some vibrations,
A
and
little
it
bit of
takes it out
vibration.
for 23 hours. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that does not pass the sniff test at all.
No.
No.
At all. Yeah.
I mean, I heard like the initial
Ooh.
root cause analysis was two power plants went offline within 5 seconds of each other, and the power grid could not withstand that drop, and it just like cascaded from. I think it was very similar to like what happened, if you guys remember, the Northeast blackout that we had. I think it was like a little bit after 9/11. Everyone thought this was a terrorist attack, and like, no, this is just antiquated power gear, and one place went out and it just cascaded everything down.
That's fair, but terrifying.
Yeah, that's like what happened in Ukraine. Like, the Russians were in there. They knew where they were vulnerable. They shut off like a few substations and just took everything down because they knew like how critical these few substations were.
Yeah, I think just in general, like a lot of countries will be very reticent to come forth with the fact that it might have been a cyber attack because it has so many more geopolitical implications. Like Ukraine is in a position to obviously, say something against
Respond,
Russia. They
yeah.
they have already some beef. Whereas, like, if Russia were to take down Spain's power grid, that would probably cause more tensions than necessary. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an international relations expert, but I think that generally speaking, even if it was a cyber attack, they would say, oh, there were failures in 2 plants, like you said. They wouldn't say why those failures in 2 plants happened at the same time. Maybe a cyber attack, but
I'll be right back. I'm
the easy way.
Googling the definition of reticent, I think is what you just said. I've never heard that word. Using big words around me again, confusing me.
Well, tell our audience what it means.
Oh, Boulder Dash, Brian.
I can't even spell it.
What? All right.
She enunciated very well,
by the
and
end
it's spelled
of the
exactly.
podcast, Brian will find the definition of reticent.
Reticent?
Reticent.
She enunciated well enough that you should be able to spell it. It's spelled exactly the way she said it.
Well, you guys overqualify me.
And she could break it down that it originated from Greek, right? So
Ret meaning.
Actually, I don't actually know.
Is there a U in that word? Just kidding.
Yes, there's a Q hidden in there somewhere as well as an X. Yeah.
All right. Good.
It's a silent
Going
C.
back to the sniff test and then my Matador comment, I wanted to say something that Chris will have to beep out. So I can smell the bullshit. I'm a f***ing Matador. Get it? Wow.
He's
Yes.
coming early with the dad joke.
Dad joke of the week.
But don't put a beep in it. Like use like a or something weird.
Oh, like a splat.
Yeah, like what I used on LinkedIn the other day. I got 0 views. That'd be great.
All right. I'll find something clever for you. Normally it's a quack or an awooga, but maybe you'll get a
Send me
special
your
sense
failed
to it.
LinkedIn post. I'll repost them.
There's so many.
we
I posted
get
3
post.
times this week and got
serial post
0
engagement.
0 bites. Yeah. No.
Is,
Oh my gosh, it was
Dr.
upsetting.
Zero Trust overshadowing you this week, Brian?
Yes.
Never heard of him. If he posted, I didn't even see it. So.
All right, before I get Brian riled up on that comment, for our third topic, we have another healthcare related story. The CEO of a cybersecurity company, Veritaco, I choose to pronounce it Veritaco, 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 that makes more sense, in Oklahoma, is accused of intentionally planting malware on 2 computers in a healthcare facility, St. Anthony Hospital in Oklahoma. The unauthorized access was detected in real time by staff members of the hospital, thus preventing the man from exfiltrating sensitive patient data. So great job, healthcare InfoSec team. We don't give them a lot of credit, but here we do have to give them their credit. They caught this before it got worse. Now, that CEO confessed to doing it to a representative of the hospital who told him not to do that again. Since then, the CEO, Jeffrey Bowie, has been trying to defend himself on LinkedIn, saying he got PTSD and depression and was afraid people's patient health information was not safe, so he was going to do them a favor and encrypt it for them. He'll have to tell it to the judge, and he has been arrested, so he will get his day in court.
It's the same
Speaking
thing.
of-
Yeah.
No, you go.
It's like the story from last week, right? Where was it the pharmacist or
The pharmacist
physician?
put malware on everyone's computers.
Yeah.
That was for a different reason, Brian.
No,
I mean,
but
I'm glad.
same thing. Just it's all malware. So, yeah.
Speaking of LinkedIn serial posters, someone get this man off of LinkedIn as he tries to wage his defense within the comments. That is insane behavior. Who is legally advising him? They should be fired. Someone get him off LinkedIn.
Self-defense.
Yeah. The excuse of I was suffering from a flare-up of PTSD and depression, and that is what caused him the paranoia to do this. It's kind of interesting. Like I'm thinking of like a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest moment in the insane asylum. Like it's modern day Cuckoo's Nest, hacking onto all the computers, saving the rest of the patients. Yeah, it's very One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Maybe he is a modern day hero. Who knows? But yeah, this is a very interesting story, and he should definitely get off LinkedIn immediately.
Yeah, I don't think he's
All I
doing
know
himself
is
any favors.
Yeah. He's over here popping his collar like it's 2004. I don't know about...
It's back. Don't you know? Didn't you
Is it
know?
back?
Yeah, it's back.
I didn't pop my collar at all this week, guys. I'm so dumb.
Guess that's
I
like a
wanted to-
20-year
like-
cycle of nostalgia, right, Glenn?
That's
I think
it.
it was about 20 years ago when pop collars were in.
That and rolled jeans, like roll the bottom of your jeans up.
Roll jeans, yeah. Star
Yeah.
Wars 3 re-release. That's like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like your shirt
All
into your
cycles.
jorts.
At the end here, he says, as a cybersecurity engineer, not a hacker, I strive to protect clients' data. What is the difference between an engineer and a hacker? Is it just self-proclamation or what?
White hat, black hat, I guess.
Yeah.
How much
Do you have
you make?
permission or not?
I mean, we have ethical hackers, right? Like,
Yep.
I'm not sure one can self-profess themselves, hacker or engineer. I feel like that has to be bequeathed onto you.
Ooh,
So did
another
he-
big
another
word.
big
spell a word
Another
in?
big word, Brian.
I can't keep up. Well, number one, at the very end, he goes, not incaduce. Is that even a word?
Induce.
Yeah.
So that's a
induce.
typo.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
typo.
Okay. So maybe he's trying to show that he's crazy. Then he also said, with God's help and familia? Is he
Familial
from-
Familial.
Familial.
Family
Familial?
support.
Oh,
Is
I thought
he part of
was,
the
like, getting-
mafia? Is he part of the mafia? That's the real question.
No, he's
Yeah.
from Fast and Furious. He's related to Dom Toretto.
Family.
It's family, baby.
So
Have you
he
seen
is-
Fast and the Furious? She has
No.
not. Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Is that another reason to
Do
boot
we
her out
need
of
to
the-
have a
We'll
list
see.
for you of movies
We
to
have an
watch?
intervention, guys.
All right.
Uh.
The real question is, have you seen the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice?
Why would I ever want to
Have
see
you?
the 2005?
Well, that's the same thing. Here we go. We understand each other now. We understand
Yeah,
each other.
you're not allowed to
didn't
come
know
back
there was
until
one.
you watched a movie or two.
Is that Keira Knightley?
Yes, that is. Thank you.
Okay.
A man of taste and decorum. So,
Just a fan of Keira Knightley.
Listen.
Has nothing to do with the movie.
but I think actually now that I'm like rethinking this, I've since made a full recovery, blah, 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 and absolutely wouldn't have touched a single device. I think he is doing like some meta stuff. He's like crazily posting on LinkedIn to show he's crazy. But of course, a crazy person wouldn't say they're crazy. Like, someone who's still suffering from mental health issues. They would just do mentally insane things, such as continually posting on LinkedIn in defense of themselves. So he's going to claim insanity as a defense. Which, you know what? Good on him. Good on him. I think that's the only thing he could do.
He's
So
like
do you think
mounting
he's
up his insanity defense.
The stupidity
It's in-
defense?
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's setting himself up for an insanity defense. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know. Yeah, I actually thought the same thing. I was like, oh, he's pretending to be crazy by being crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. But he's not saying, but he's like, I'm not crazy anymore. But it's like, but you're posting a defense on LinkedIn.
What is the
maniacally.
PTSD rooted to? Like, what did your dad do to you that you're like, I need to go out there and protect the world from their PHI data? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, let's think about this as people in cybersecurity. I will say, when I first went down the rabbit hole here, I was getting a little paranoid and crazy. I think everyone does, right?
Of
like
what?
that's of my PHI, of my personal information being stolen.
Oh.
Don't we all have that?
Did
when
we just talk about that? That it's already out there. It doesn't really matter.
Yes.
It's floating.
See, it's a cycle. At first, when you first learn about it, you're like, oh my God, I have to do everything I can to protect myself. And then you realize it doesn't matter. And like just being an unimportant person is enough to protect yourself. Like just don't be a target. But, you go through those cycles. Maybe this man he was in the cycle of feeling like, wow, I have to protect not only myself, but everyone else in this hospital. Again,
Yeah.
a one flew over the cuckoo's nest moment.
Just go
I don't think I
subscribe
would
to
care if
Norton
my data got
LifeLock.
leaked.
Just go to Norton LifeLock and subscribe and get your whole life protected, right?
Are we sponsored by them?
No, not yet. Could be.
Damn it.
I'm on it, Glenn. I'm on it.
Oh,
These guys keep
Olivia said
hassling me.
we. Oh, we have a new
we.
fourth.
Yeah, I know. We got a
no
fourth
longer
now.
a guest. Oh, mental gymnastics are being performed over here. I like it.
Just trying to get the check, y'all. Trying to get the check.
206 episodes in, still no monetization. Which I'm fine with, but my two co-hosts keep bothering me about it.
We keep bothering you.
I feel like
or-
we should.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah,
We
we.
should. We should.
We should. I'm very quick to join the community. What can I say? But Yeah, that's all I have to say about this. I think he's claiming an insanity defense.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time like we've seen this that cybersecurity companies intentionally hack into their customers and say, "Oh yeah, you need to buy more services from us, or we'll protect you from this." It's an interesting conflict of interest here for sure.
The fact that he's also a CEO.
Scary.
I'm sure this is like a 3-person shop or something. We should look it up.
We should. See, this is the kind of stuff we probably should do ahead of time, and yet we did not. But
Here we are.
CEO is special title. This is someone who probably should know better. He at least manages one person.
I met a CEO this week, and he's like, CEO. He's like showing me the badge. I'm like, yeah, like he was from Brazil. He was Chief Email Officer. And I was like, all right, that is freaking hilarious. So, I like it.
All right, so their LinkedIn page got taken down, so I'm going to go into the Internet Wayback Machine and see if I can find it.
Is that a
Very
website?
taco?
Yeah.
Very taco. There is one snapshot of this webpage on September 17th, 2024. Let's take a look. 65 total followers. View. Oh, this is hilarious. I got to share this with you. All right, I'm sharing the screen. Let's see. All right, Very Taco, threat intelligence, instant response. View all 2 employees.
Two
I told you
employees.
he manages at least one person.
No, it's his other personality.
Right here. Company size 2 to 10 employees. Research service.
It would have been better if his logo was a taco, like someone like
Threat intelligence, instant response, social engineering, vulnerability assessment, pen testing. All right.
Yeah, the
65
2 employees are
followers.
Jeffrey Bowie and Jeff Bowie.
There you go. Or Bowie Jeff.
Bowie Jeff.
too funny.
All right, I've lost my Zoom bar. I can't stop sharing. Where's my Zoom bar?
No.
It's on- it's
Okay,
on the
Grandpa,
other-
you'll
it's
figure
on
it
your-
out eventually.
It's on your 5th screen
I know.
to the far left.
All right, I found it. All right, so yeah, CEO. I guess he could be a CEO of a 2-person company. That still counts as CEO. Let's hope he gets the help he needs. Let's see if he gets that insanity defense, and he'll get the help he needs. Otherwise, it's the silver handcuffs for messing with patient health information.
Mm.
All right, for our last topic, it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about this year's RSA conference. Now, 3 out of the 4 of us went this year, but I promise we'll find a way to include Olivia and get her input on this.
No, don't worry. I talked enough already. You guys go.
Use
That's what
guys.
we want.
Not all the
That's what we
mafia.
want.
All of
We want you to
Use
talk.
guys.
Yeah.
We want you to talk.
There's a few observations I made, but I want to get the collective group's thought on how the RSA conference was this year.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh.
I was just busy in meetings the whole time, and I literally had 45 minutes to walk around. But I was right about the post. It was agentic AI everywhere that got 0 traction, but I was 100% right. My prediction was correct on Friday that it would just be everywhere, and yeah, it was kind of boring. And then like one guy, they actually had a motorcycle. And they had like a line of people like standing in line because they all thought they were going to win a raffle. I'm like, well, that's one way to get people at your booth. Probably not really good leads, but at least you're trying.
Raffling off a motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't think they were. I think they were actually like when I got closer to it, they're like, no, is this actually a raffle for a motorcycle ride for a couple days or something like that? It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Did you go
It's
to the
still a cool
Wiz
prize.
booth?
I walked by it and laughed at it. Yeah,
I went to the Google
pink
Cloud
and
booth.
cool.
I didn't remember seeing Wiz there, but I was there to see Mandiant.
Yeah, Wiz, I mean, I only saw it online, but they had a very custom, tricked out booth per usual.
as always. Yeah,
Was
That
it
marketing
the
team working
supermarket
overtime.
theme, or was it different this year? I didn't see it.
It was like a toy shop.
Oh, okay, because the last
very
couple of years,
soft
they went with the
pastel
supermarket
colors.
theme.
Yeah.
I wasn't
To be
on the
honest,
floor.
For like,
Yeah.
what?
I never made it to the floor. Yeah. I was
Brian,
there.
I saw your booth, though.
But not there.
Oh, not your booth, your old company's booth, actually. We didn't see your current company's booth there. I don't know if you
Hey.
guys had a presence.
No booth. We were
Not a
not
security
in
company.
attendance at RSA. Yeah, not a security company.
Not a real security company. Very Taco had a booth, but Glenn's employer did not have a booth.
Taco had a booth?
Very Taco.
Very taco.
They had a booth? They didn't have a booth. Get out of here.
We're messing with you, Glenn.
No.
You can't
The
talking about?
two-person healthcare company headed
And one
by
guy's
an
in jail.
insane person.
Yeah.
Maybe both, if it's split personality possible.
There was one vendor out there that had a booth everywhere. Trash cans everywhere, Broadcom. So every time I walk by, I'm like, oh, there's a Broadcom booth. It's a trash can.
Yeah,
Was it branded Broadcom or was it branded Symantec still? Do you remember?
I think it was Broadcom.
Just
Yeah.
Glenn, Mr.
No, I get it. I know what you're talking about.
I didn't even know I don't think Broadcom even had a booth. I know they had one at Black Hat. I don't think they had one here. Not that I saw. Yeah, they had. Well, when they were at Black Hat, it was Broadcom, and they had a specific Symantec section.
Did you guys get the count of how many people were in attendance? What was the over-under on that? I think I said 30, Brian said 40, and then Chris said $1 or 1%.
No,
right?
it was Mark. Mark said 1. I think I said 30, Brian said 40, and I think Glenn said 50.
No, I did
think
not
that's
say
what it is.
50. I know.
I mean, maybe I took 25 then.
Yeah.
I knew it'd be low. It felt like it was low this year. I mean,
Bro, you
granted,
were
I
there
went
the
on
last
Thursday.
day. Yeah.
But in terms of booth sprawl, I think it was like gut feeling like 30% smaller than last year.
Yeah.
You have people like Glenn pulling out, and you have, RSA used to have a gigantic booth there every year, and everything felt small. Like Sentinel 1 used to have one on each side plus the middle. They put the race car in the middle, and they had like a very dialed back booth this year. I think just spending got dialed back. Not CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike was literally everywhere. So they definitely spent their marketing dollars, but I think everything seemed to be scaled back, which fits into my theme. My theme was austerity this year,
right.
and I definitely felt the austerity there.
According to
what were the numbers?
ChatGPT,
it was
44,000.
no 41. I got 41.
That's higher than I expected.
Yeah.
That's why we can't trust the internet.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got right here. Yeah. 41. Oh, that's 2024. Haha, that's wrong.
Glenn can't Google.
I can't Google.
You can't DDG.
No.
Olivia, do you ever go to any of the conferences?
I haven't since I was in SE, unfortunately. And yeah, that was a while ago. But to be honest, like,
You don't want to go.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Be honest. I want my feet to feel human. I would like to sit. So no, not for me. I mean,
were you
unless
pulling 8-hour days or 4-hour days as an SE?
Oh, 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah, 4 hours a little bit easier, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
What
it's
happened
just
was,
like, oh, tell me.
I was
Tell
gonna
me
say,
what happened.
what happens is we all sign up for 4-hour shifts, and inevitably the person that's supposed to show up to relieve you flakes, so you end up working an 8-hour day anyway. Talking to you,
Obviously.
Pablo.
Yeah. Also, my old CEO used to be quite maniacal about, like, if you are at this conference, you're on your feet, you're talking to people the entire time. Like, we weren't allowed to talk to each other either. If you saw us talking to each other, we would be kind of slapped on the wrist. Anyway,
What was this company?
Veritaco.
Not gonna say. Check me serial
find it on
posting on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn and find out.
Yeah. Links in the description.
Yes, links in the description. But yeah, I mean, I think these trade shows are nice. If that's something you're into. It always shocks me how many people are like into swag and stuff, like really stupid swag, like socks.
Yeah.
It just shocks me how many people care about that stuff. As if we don't already all have enough junk anyway. If you can differentiate, like I have to say, Wiz, usually has some pretty nifty swag for things like their pajama launch. I think they did board games, whatever. There's been a lot of like things that you cannot get anywhere else that are very cybersecurity focused, but like, don't we all have enough junk already? How else are you supposed to get people to come to your booth?
Have you,
Yeah,
have you
no,
not looked in the
Surely
back?
not
Chris,
knowledge.
have you not looked in the back behind Chris? He's got a bunch of stuff there from RSA.
Hashtag swag.
I'll say this is my 14th year at RSA, minus the one pandemic year where it got shut down. And I will say I've gotten very selective on the stuff that I take, which is it usually has to be unique or has to be like a company I really like. Mm-hmm. And I will say, like, the most hilarious thing, because I do booth duty all the time, the most hilarious thing I see is these people walking around gigantic bag. They have like 3 lightsabers or a Minecraft sword or something. Like, did you bring a suitcase big enough to take all this crap back?
Yes, they did. They did.
But you come here with the intention of bringing a bag full of swag back to your kids or something.
You know who got it right? I think it was Orca. They had puppies. So you go in the thing.
They had the puppy booth.
Puppies.
Yep.
Yeah, that I would be all about that. You don't like that, Olivia?
No, that would be the death of me. That would be the death of me. That would catch
not
me
only
at that
puppies
booth all day.
but the handlers as well, Brian.
You'd catch me in handcuffs because I got in trouble for stealing a dog. Like, hey, come back with it. I'm like, no,
who wants to go back to Arizona with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that people need to be a lot more. I think things are just shifting so much, like in terms of why people go to these conferences, what people are looking for in terms of marketing from companies, how people are even just looking at companies. People are not finding out about you at RSA generally. They're finding out about you from an ad, from your Formula One sponsorship, something like that. I don't know. I just think that it's a little antiquated.
I'd be interested
thing is
to see when you buy something and there's a survey that says, how'd you hear about us? I would like to know what percentage of people in cybersecurity say, I bought Sentinel-1 because I saw it on XYZ race car. I bought CrowdStrike because, I saw it on Max Verstappen's F1 car or something.
Or a billboard.
Or a Super Bowl ad, right?
I don't think it's so much that it's because they saw it there. I think it's that maybe that company got on their radar because they might be interested. And so like a PR, article came up on their feed because they follow Formula One or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's all
and
brainwashing
also, like,
us.
If you can have if you can, get on a Formula One car, especially if like a bigger team, it feels like you're more of a like legit company who can afford it, even though that's totally backwards. But I would probably assume as a nothing knower, like, oh, they have a Formula One sponsorship. They must have some money laying around. Maybe they're profitable and can afford such things. But, again, nothing
more
knower.
Mature.
Nothing knower. So what do I know?
I don't understand the billboards in San Francisco of all the tech companies that are advertising. So I don't know if half these people know what Salesforce is, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so
like Vanta has a lot of billboards around San Francisco, and like they're quite funny. I think unless you're funny and you're eye catching for a reason other than your actual purported purpose, what's the point?
I agree. Yeah, when I drive by billboards,
yeah,
I don't even look. I just zone out. But there are certain ones that are eye catching, and that those are the unique ones. I think that have to have their own spin on it to get your attention.
Yeah, the other thing I kind of noticed was the booths outside of the conference. Did you see that, Chris?
What you mean outside of Moscone?
Yeah, so like on the streets, they had like pop-up tents of people like, come over here and let us scan us for and we'll give you a bottle of
coffee
water.
Or something.
Yeah.
There was a couple of
them.
Being useful, being a little cowboy, I like that. I think that's
you're at the targeted audience apparently.
Yeah, I remember maybe 2 years ago, I went to the Starbucks there. I just wanted to buy a coffee, and they saw my badge. Like, oh, Fortinet or Checkpoint, whoever is sponsoring this hour, your coffee's free. Let me just scan you. I'm like, all right, free coffee, I guess.
Works for me. You just now you're getting emails though, right?
So you gotta unsubscribe. Yeah.
So.
Well, the funny part is Checkpoint's buying your coffee.
Yeah, and I guess piggybacking off of Brian's comment, maybe one of the last comments here, the safety overall. SFPD, we're definitely out in force. I took the train up, so from the BART station to Moscone, I saw at least 20 uniformed officers right outside Moscone. They weren't armed, but the officers had SWAT. The SWAT team was there. There were black Suburbans lining the streets of Moscone. Felt safe, I would say. Didn't wander too far away from the convention center other than to go to the train station. But once you're on the train station, it's addicts shooting up and all that stuff. But the street side, it was fine. Felt safe.
So the train station was addicts, but the streets were okay, which is normally the opposite. It should be the opposite, right?
Yeah. Well, the news cameras are only above surface, so that's why.
So I saw the beat cops walking around with like the batons and no guns. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I walked into Target to get like a rock star, and what did I find? Like guys in full battle fatigues, body armor, and 2 guns. I'm like, damn, man, these guys. I was like, I was talking about it. I was like, man, these guys are strapped more than the cops, and the guys.
They have a higher chance of being shot at because they actually have something people want.
Yeah. Felt safer in Target is my point, guys.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, downtown vacancy still seemed high. There were lots of large retail spaces that were empty, same as last year. But we'll give Daniel Laurie a chance. He's only 100 days in on the job. He's trying to turn things around. All right, I see Olivia highlighting or somebody highlighting, so I think that's our cue to move on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Glenn. All right. Well, we continue to get great comments about our Dad Joke of the Week.
Dad Joke of the Week.
This week, our guest Olivia is up.
All right, guys, you ready for this?
Ransomware.
All week.
Absolutely. I will preface this, just so you know, the punchline has nothing to do with cybersecurity. So
All
take
right,
off your
fine. Just
cybersecurity
dad joke.
hat
That's okay.
and
That's
put
okay.
on your dumb joke hat.
You're 99% better already. Just by that.
Okay, guys, what do you call a noodle in disguise?
What's that?
Something
No
about this
guesses. You're not even going to guess. In
No.
disguise. Gosh,
In
Brian, I
disguise.
feel like I have to have
A bow tie.
subtitles for myself when I'm speaking another language.
Oh, I
Okay,
get it. I know what it is.
What do you call a noodle in disguise, Glenn?
Impasta?
An imposter. There we go. Yeah, you didn't look that one up, did you?
No, I did not. I did
You
not.
just use your
It
brain.
was-
Good.
It was in there.
He's a
Yep,
dad.
yep.
On par with
Low-hanging
Read it out.
fruit.
food, I think.
There you go.
Do you guys have pasta? I don't know
We
anything
do
about your culture.
have-
Greek food.
Brian. Yeah,
Tomatoes,
we're gonna
right?
have to bring you.
Yeah.
We are of the
Hariro.
tomato, cheese, and we're tomato
Feta.
Europe, not potato Europe. We do like potatoes too, but we're more tomato Europe than potato Europe.
So I will ask you: are you familiar of this restaurant called Nick the Greek? Do you have that
No.
up there?
I love
Okay,
that place.
never mind.
Where
I
is
was
it?
gonna. It's a chain of fast casual restaurants, I guess, here in the Bay Area. I know of them here at least. I was gonna ask you: is Nick the Greek to Greek food like Panda Express is to Chinese food?
Do they put it in bowls and?
Balls
Like-
and pita
like
bread.
bowls.
Yeah.
Okay, I think because when we went to San Francisco with my parents, my mom was like, Michelle Obama says that there's this great, kind of fast casual place in San Francisco for Greek food. And we went there. So it might be that. Maybe they changed their name. I forget what
Yeah.
it was called. No, maybe.
Yeah, French fries, feta fries.
I mean, yeah, this sounds like
They have
pretty
wraps.
typical Greek, street fare.
They have the beef lamb heroes.
Yeah. So I don't know Nick the Greek, but yeah, there's some pretty good Euro places, especially on the coasts and stuff. Wherever there's a big Greek church, which there's a big Greek community in San Francisco, there's bound to be some good Greek food around.
All right, to wrap things up, the Disney hacker gets 3 years in prison. Watch out for those romance scammers. There may be more to Spain's power outages. A cybersecurity CEO goes off his meds and hacks his client, and be careful walking around San Francisco. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us all on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host Brian Deach and Glenn Medina, and our guest Olivia Linares. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next week, and as always, have a nice day.
Cheers.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.